Now, the things that I've been doing over the last, I don't know, I guess you could call it 15 months. Whenever the first recommendation came out in June 2020, I've been following this stuff since last year. I am not a medical professional. I am somebody who um, thinks outside the box and I question things because I think that that's what all of us should be doing before we go injecting something inside of our bodies, particularly now that it's being pushed so much. You have to ask yourself, how does this make sense? Why is the government interfering on science and data? So, my initiative in all of this started, I don't know, a couple months ago. This is really the first time that I'm talking about it. But I do have a website and a blog where I do discuss these topics, but I've never actually gone on record on my video, which is what I'm doing to you, what I'm doing now. So before I reverse and I go back in time, because this report, by the way, is very, very important. And it contains non-binding recommendations, by the way. It's available on the FDA website, just like everything else. What I want you guys to know is that I do have an opinion about things, but it's not even my opinion. I'm relaying facts. I'm relaying facts, not my opinion. I'm relaying facts based on government resources, the FDA and the CDC, as well as executive orders available on the White House website. So this is why I want everybody to listen to me, is because nobody is looking at this stuff. And I'm not going to say nobody because I'm not the only person that is looking at this stuff. But people are failing to recognize the fact that you cannot listen to everything that you hear in the news or that you see in the news or whatever. You need to start doing your own research, people. Really, as particularly before you go and start injecting something in your body. And you need to question this. And everybody needs to start asking yourselves these questions and start researching it on your own like I did. I've read hundreds of pages from the FDA website, from the Pfizer application, BLA. I have read the emergency use authorization report. I've read all of the reports from the FDA since June of last year, 2020. And what's been very troubling for me personally, maybe it should be for everybody else as well, is over the course of the last month, today is September the 27th. So over the course of the last month, there's just been a series of events that have been very questionable. And I've already been questioning this stuff prior to a month from now, or a month prior to August 27th. Because things that I read that are right here, my notebook, this isn't even all of it, but it's all government information available publicly, right? A lot of things are just really, people need to understand the words that you are reading. Okay, so when you hear something or you read something, I think the issue here is that people need to understand what they're reading and the words. Okay. So I'm going to go on to something else because since everybody likes to watch news, I'm just going to be a newscaster right now. Okay. But I am relaying facts again. So a couple of days ago, President Biden went on a press conference and said, this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. So now it's no longer a pandemic of coronavirus, but rather a pandemic about people. This speech, in my opinion, is the equivalent of promoting racism and turning vaccinated people against those who are unvaccinated and blaming them for the pandemic, because it is coming from the president. Because this statement is coming from the president, people are believing it even more and ignoring the real raw data and documents, like I said, which are publicly available from the FDA, Pfizer, and White House and CDC websites. Biden goes on to say this is not about personal freedom or choice. It's about protecting yourself and those around you. First off, the phrase protecting yourself in a common sense usage would appear to me to be making a personal choice to protect yourself by determining whether or not you are going to inject something into your body for which you have no idea what the outcome will be. This statement, again, is my conclusion based on hundreds of pages that I have read, again, all from government resources, which I will go on in a little bit further detail at the end of this video or in a supplementary post or video. So then he says here, my job is to protect all Americans and to protect the vaccinated workers from the unvaccinated workers. Isn't the whole point of the vaccination in the first place to essentially provide protection? So this statement that Biden makes appears to imply that the vaccination does not provide full protection, which in fact has proven to be the case. He says 17 million healthcare workers will be impacted by the new mandate. So if they refuse to do so, let's say that these healthcare workers refuse to be vaccinated and then they quit their jobs. So if they do that, now we have a situation that's even worse. We have a situation where hospitals or any other healthcare setting will not have enough employees to handle what they are there for in the first place and put us in an even worse situation. And also, those workers are going to need to file for unemployment, which is funded by the government. So how does this put us in a better predicament? It puts a strain on not only the economical system, but also the health and safety and the well-being of Americans, but also the judicial system, because I suspect that numerous lawsuits will be filed in the way that I see it. Our country is in this real state of health and economic downturn.